great. And then I'm very real. I show my emotions, and I'm not afraid to hide it, because that's what life is all about. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. The important thing is that you pick yourself back up.
Skating is one of those sports that is so unique because you are just out there. And in your case, you literally have millions of people from around the world scrutinizing everything. What is it like when you fall? I mean, really, it hurts. I know what I'm saying. What's that like? After all of these years of training.
Yeah, you were trained so well that you just pick yourself back up to keep on going and to never give up, because there's been a lot of skaters who have won a competition, won the Olympics by one mistake, by one fall. So you never know, really. And when people ask me, how does it feel to be on the ice, all alone? I'm like, no, it took a lot of teamwork, my coaches, my parents, my friends, people, my family, to get me there.
But are you still like your first Olympics?
Mm-hmm.
You're out there.
Oh,
Skate out on ice. Tell me what was going through your mind.
Usually, it's so quiet. I can hear my heartbeat. And I'm usually very, very calm, and it's sort of like a meditation. It's not like, oh, there's so many people, oh my God. You're in the zone. I think when athletes talk about being in the zone, that's what it is. Just knowing that you can do it and believing in yourself. And you've trained yourself so many times to do a certain jump or to do the program, and you just turn it on.
The Olympics obviously is the pinnacle. You won a silver medal in 1998 in Japan. What was that like?
Winning the silver medal. First of all, it's an honor to represent your country, represent the United States, and go to the Olympics. And like I said, I was 7 years old when I dreamt of attending the Olympics and being an Olympic ice skater. You're just honored and privileged, and you work your hardest, and you hope that you represent the United States well.
I mean, you didn't win the gold, obviously. So did you feel that was that a feeling of defeat at all, or were you perfectly content with the silver?
Well, in 1998, I did 2 clean performances, meaning that I didn't make a mistake, I didn't fall on a jump or make a mistake. And it was frustrating, because when you're a kid, you don't think of, oh, I want to win the silver. It's happening out there. You are being like popular with podium. But like I said, life is not perfect. And my dad said, you work your hardest. One thing parents always say is no regrets. You tried your hardest. You didn't play around when you could have. You dedicated yourself, and you gave your heart out. So what can you do?
And then Salt Lake City, you won the bronze. Here's the thing we're laughing at, but it's extraordinary. Extraordinary. But that means, in your mind, I know you slowed it down just because of an injury, but are you going to go for it again?
Maybe. No, I had hip surgery last year. It's slowed me down a little bit, but I still have my eligibility. So if I do decide to compete, I still can.
Is it something that you sort of just kind of a burning desire to go for the gold?
When I was 17, I thought that it was life or death. That winning was everything, and that was it. It was kind of like, if I don't win, what's going to happen to me? Am I going to be not happy for the rest of my life? It's everything in life. And I realized that it isn't. It's not the moment. It's not the medal. It's about the journey to the destination.
And how did you get there? How did you get to the point where you went from being so intensely competitive to actually being able to enjoy the journey?
focus on myself. I never compete against somebody. I always say, like, what can I do to improve myself? And I'm very happy that I am that kind of competitor, because when you analyze somebody else's work, you can't change what they do. Like skaters, for example, backstage, sometimes some skaters watch other skaters before they compete. And I think with my routine, this is what I'm going to do, regardless of what happens before me. I know that some skaters, they landed triple, so I've got to add triple. But it just changes your mindset. I just stick with my routine, and this is what I'm going to do.
Will you be going to the Olympics this summer?
I hope so. I was just in Beijing 2 weeks ago, and I could see all the excitement that is building, and people are excited. I know that the American athletes are really excited, so it's going to be an amazing event. I was actually at the Shanghai Special Olympics ceremony, the opening ceremony, and wow, amazing.
With the gentleman, you were talking about how music and entertainment is kind of an incredible cultural bridge, but sport certainly is, and you have become such an ambassador between the U.S., China, and so much of the world. What's that like to represent this country and have an Asian face?
Mr. Rome, that speech was amazing. Apology for it. When you were talking about music being the bridge and the common bond that unites the whole world, I feel very lucky as an athlete that sports diplomacy can play the same role. That people all over the world, not just in China, can cheer for Yao Ming. People all over the world, not just Canada, can cheer for Wayne Gretzky. And the list goes on of all the athletes. It's a common ground where people can understand one another, have the same tolerance and respect. It doesn't matter what playing field or whether they hit the grass for the court or the field, or in my case, skating. It's just we applaud these athletes as great sportsmen.
But do you think your experience has been different, though, as an American with an Asian face?
I mean, U.S., America is a melting pot.